The moment my neighbor told me to pretend I forgot my passport, I knew something wasn't right. My name is Iris Caldwell, and that morning had started like something out of a perfect life. My husband stood in the kitchen, smiling in a way that used to make me feel safe. He held out an envelope like it was something precious. "A surprise," he said softly. Inside were cruise tickets. A weekend getaway. Ocean views, luxury suite, everything planned. "Go enjoy it," he added, brushing his lips against my forehead. "You deserve it." Deserve. That word echoed in my mind longer than it should have. Because something about the way he said it didn't feel like love. It felt like closure. I smiled anyway. I packed my bags. I played my part. But as I stepped outside, dragging my suitcase behind me, something deep inside refused to settle. That's when I heard her voice. "Iris, wait." I turned to see Mrs. Halpern standing on her porch. She was old, quiet, the kind of neighbor who noticed everything but spoke very little. I walked closer. She didn't smile. She didn't greet me. She just leaned slightly forward and said in a low, certain voice, "Say you forgot your passport." I blinked. "What?" "Go back inside," she continued. "Bathroom. Stay there 10 minutes. Don't come out early." Her eyes locked onto mine. Not confused. Not unsure. Certain. "What will I understand?" I asked, my voice barely steady. She didn't answer. Just one quiet sentence. "Trust me." And then she stepped back. Like she had already said too much. I stood there for a moment, my heart calm but my thoughts racing. People like her don't say things like that without a reason. So I turned around. And I went back inside. My husband looked up immediately. Too quickly. "What happened?" he asked. "I forgot my passport," I said. There it was again. That tiny pause. Barely a second. But I saw it. Then he smiled. "Go grab it." Too easy. Too smooth. I nodded and walked past him, straight to the bathroom. I locked the door, sat down on the edge of the tub, and waited. At first, there was nothing. Just silence. The kind that makes you question yourself. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe. Then I heard it. Voices. Low. Muffled. Coming from the living room. I stood slowly, moving closer to the door without realizing I was holding my breath. At first, I couldn't make out the words. Just tones. Familiar. Comfortable. Too comfortable. And then, a woman laughed. Soft. Easy. Like she belonged there. "Are you sure she's gone?" Gone. Not traveling. Not leaving. Gone. My fingers tightened against the door handle. My husband answered without hesitation. "Yes. She's already on her way." Something inside me shifted. Completely. "You booked the suite, right?" she asked. "Of course," he replied. 3 days. No interruptions. 3 days. No interruptions. I looked at my bag sitting beside the sink. The tickets. The timing. The planning. This wasn't a gift. It was a removal. "I still can't believe she didn't question it," the woman said. "She never does," he replied. That one sentence hit harder than everything else. Because it wasn't just betrayal. It was certainty. Pattern. They knew me. They counted on me. They used me. A small sound slipped from my throat before I could stop it. I froze. Outside, the voices went silent. "Did you hear something?" she asked. My heart started pounding now. Loud. Fast. Too loud. Too fast. "No," he said after a second. "She's gone." Gone. Again. I stepped back slowly, pressing my hand against my mouth. And in that moment, I understood exactly what my neighbor meant. 10 minutes. That's all it took. 10 minutes to destroy a marriage. I didn't open the door. Not yet. Because once I did, everything would change. Outside, I heard movement. Footsteps. Closer now. I missed you, she said softly. I told you I'd handle it, he replied. Handle it. Like I was a problem. Something to remove. I closed my eyes, not from weakness, but from clarity. Because there was no confusion anymore. No doubt. Only truth. When I opened them again, I wasn't shaking. I was calm. Steady. I unlocked the bathroom door and stepped out. The hallway was empty. But the bedroom door was slightly open. That was enough. I walked forward quietly, each step deliberate, controlled. Their voices were clearer now. Closer. I'll be gone all weekend, he said. We don't have to rush. That was it. That was the last piece. I pushed the door open. They froze. Exactly the way people do when they realize they've been caught in something they thought was hidden. She was sitting on the edge of my bed. My bed. He was standing too close to her. Both of them turned toward me, their faces shifting from comfort, to confusion, to shock. You forgot something? He said. Still pretending. Still trying. I looked at him. Then at her. Then back at him. Yes, I said calmly. My mistake. For a second, no one spoke. Because this wasn't part of their plan. You came back, he said. Like that was the problem. Not what I walked into. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. Soft. Final. She told me I forgot something, I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. That's what made it worse. His eyes narrowed. Who told you? I ignored the question. Instead, I looked at her. Really looked. I wanted to remember her face. The woman who sat on my bed, in my house, waiting for me to disappear. She stood up quickly. This isn't what it looks like. It is, I said. And that stopped her. Because denial only works when there's doubt. And there wasn't any left. My husband stepped in next. I was going to tell you. Of course he was. They always are. When? I asked. He didn't answer. Because there is never a right time for truth when you're busy hiding it. This was a mistake, he added. Mistake. That word again. Like planning an entire weekend together, while sending your wife away, was accidental. I nodded slowly. I agree. That confused him. Good. Because confusion meant he was losing control. I reached into my bag and pulled out my phone. Dialed. He watched me carefully now. What are you doing? I didn't answer. I just waited. Because this time, I wasn't reacting. I was responding. The line connected. I'm ready, I said. And then I hung up. Ready for what? He asked. Now there was something new in his voice. Uncertainty. I looked at him. For the part you didn't plan. Silence. You're overreacting, he said quickly. We can fix this. Fix. Always after the damage. I tilted my head slightly. Like you fixed this weekend? That landed. Hard. He had no answer. The woman stepped back, grabbing her bag. I should go. No, I said calmly. They both froze. You can stay, I added. You were planning to. Her face tightened. Because now leaving didn't save her. Nothing did. You said I never question things, I continued, looking at him. His expression changed. Recognition. Today, I said softly, I did. A knock echoed through the house. Sharp. Precise. Not random. He turned toward the door, then back at me. What did you do? For the first time. He wasn't in control. I didn't answer. I walked past him, down the hallway, and opened the front door. 2 men stood there. Professional. Calm. One of them held a folder. Mrs. Caldwell? Yes. He handed it to me. Everything has been processed. Processed. Perfect word. I took it. Thank you. They left without another word. Clean. Efficient. Final. When I walked back into the bedroom, he was waiting. Watching me like I was someone he didn't recognize. What is that? He asked. I placed the folder on the bed. Right where she had been sitting. Open it. He hesitated. Then did. His eyes moved quickly at first. Then slower. Then stopped. What is this? He asked. But now his voice wasn't steady. It's a transfer, I said calmly. He looked up. Confused. No, that's not possible. It is. She leaned in, trying to see. And that's when I said it. The house isn't yours anymore. Silence. Heavy. Real. This isn't right, he said, flipping through the pages. There has to be a mistake. There isn't. My voice didn't change. Because I had already checked everything. Twice. This property was always under my name, I continued. You just never paid attention. That stopped him. Completely. You transferred it? He asked. Yes. When? I met his eyes. While you were planning your weekend. That was the moment everything broke. Not just the lie. His control. His certainty. His illusion. You can't do this, he said. I just did. No emotion. Just fact. He looked around the room. The walls. The bed. The space he thought belonged to him. But ownership isn't a feeling. It's a fact. And facts don't negotiate. What are we supposed to do? He asked quietly. We. That almost made me smile. I looked at both of them. You leave. And this time, there was no argument. Because there was nothing left to argue. He packed quickly. Messy. Desperate. Not like someone leaving home. Like someone being removed from it. She stayed silent. Avoiding my eyes. Because now, there was no role left to play. At the door, he stopped. Iris, we can still fix this. I looked at him. Really looked. And for the first time, there was nothing there. No love. No hesitation. No attachment. Just clarity. You already fixed it, I said. He frowned. What does that mean? It means. I paused. You showed me exactly who you are. He stood there for a moment. Waiting. Hoping. For something that wasn't coming. Then he left. The door closed. And the house went quiet. Not empty. Clear. I walked back into the bedroom. Everything was still there. Exactly where it belonged. With me. My phone buzzed. A message. From Mrs. Halpern. Did you understand? I looked at the screen for a second. Then typed back one word. Yes. Because those 10 minutes didn't just expose a lie. They ended a life I didn't even realize I was trapped in. And for the first time in a long time, I wasn't the one being sent away. I was the one who stayed. And that changed everything.